What's going on, America? This is Kevin in Kevin's Corner. And you know, I try to make sense out of nonsense. I really do. I really do. But sometimes it's hard to do that. It gets harder and harder every day based upon this progressive, liberal, snowflake, millennial generation that's pushing crazy things. I guess now we have a new occupation in America. We have, I guess, a stay-at-home son. So you heard the story about the young man who's 30 years old, who his parents had to take him to court to kick his grown, crusty butt out the house. Now, you know, if I've heard a husband, it's bad enough that we had stay-at-home husbands, okay? You got the stay-at-home wife. Okay, fine. If the husband can take care of everything, she wants to stay home, great, if you can do that. But I start to get a little uncomfortable when a man is okay with saying, well, I'm a stay-at-home dad, you know, a stay-at-home mom, okay, and I'm not saying this to be sexist. This is something internally. It's not something that me personally project on society or whatever, but just as a man, I think most men have a built-in internal, like, desire to provide for their family, and it might touch on their emotions and make them feel a little insecure if they're not able to do that. And I'm not saying that he feels like he got to earn more money or whatever, but you never want to feel like, okay, my wife went out to work her 9 to 5. She's putting in a good 60 hours or so a week, and I'm a stay-at-home dad. And, you know, I just, you know, maybe I could do something, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, you got stay-at-home dads, and if they cool with that, fine. Our society finally got to a point where it's like, okay, you know, you got stay-at-home dads. But now, we go one step further, a stay-at-home son. And see, this is what happens when you start pandering towards all of our society, making these millennials feel entitled. I remember there was a time where you was excited to grow up, turn 18, and get out on your own. I remember being a kid, man, I can't wait to grow up and get out on my own. But I think what happened is these millennials, they don't have that desire. They for some reason have not embraced the fact that in almost every species, the animal gets to a point where they say, I have to now leave my nest. And food no longer is going to be stuffed down my throat by my mom's beak, okay? And so this man, I guess he just figured, I'm 30 years old, I open the refrigerator, food magically appears. You know, I didn't realize when I hit 18 or 21 or 25 or whatever, that clothes don't magically appear in my closet anymore. I don't understand why that doesn't happen. Where's the magical clothes person who delivers these clothes in my closet? I don't understand. What do you mean there's I have to feed myself? And what do you mean I got to contribute to society? You know, what if all the kids in the world, his age and under, decided to just adopt that mentality? Our society has created a national insane asylum room that's padded. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put all of the people in a bubble wrap system in a big padded room and tell them nothing's out there could hurt you and you don't have to do what makes you uncomfortable. If you're not ready to leave yet, it's okay. It's okay. You can stay until you're comfortable and feel like you can now go out on your own. You could just go out on your own. Versus grab them by the back of the pants and the back of the shirt and throw them out. And it's embarrassing. I don't even see how the guy was able to go on TV and with a straight face say, I'm upset that my mom and dad is kicking me out. Now, they could have gave me a little grace period. The grace period was from 18 to 30, buddy. You've extended the grace. You've used up all your grace chips, okay? There's no more coins in the grace machine, okay? You're done. It's time for you to get out on your own. And if a society does not prepare young people for that, they won't make it. Last example, see, and I think this is for all the millennials, and this is actually for the liberals, who creates a society that says, you know what? We're going to enable a lot of people to live off of the government, and we're not going to encourage them, give them any incentive or any type of assistance to become productive people that can say, you know what? I'm proud to have my own resources coming in that I worked for. Now, I'm not saying people don't fall on hard times. You know, if the kid moved out and something happened and he said, man, I'm in bad shape, can I move back for a while? That's one thing. But to say I ain't even attempt to bounce yet, been here since I was born, and I have no intentions on leaving, and I'm offended that you would try to make me leave. But at the same time, our society also creates a lot of people who live off of, say, the system. All right? They just say, you know what? Been living off the system. My mom and them lived off the system. Then they taught me how to live off the system, and I have no intentions on leaving. What do you do to a generation or a group of people when you start instilling or putting all these things in place to enable them? Not encourage them, but enable them. Only so they will be codependent on the system, and it only benefits those who create the system, so that this population of people will simply reward them through loyalty, through votes or whatever. That's a problem in any society, because the people who are independent have to bear the weight of all those who want to live off the system. And it's no different than when you have a pet. I mean, I said it in another video. I have two dogs, Sammy and Caesar. If you watch my videos, you'll know who they are. Everybody loves Sammy and Caesar, yeah. But nonetheless, Sammy and Caesar, they are not independent animals. They weren't born in the wild. They don't know how to hunt, fish, chase a mouse, chase a rat, chase a squirrel. The other day, I let one of them out. They saw a squirrel. Sammy and Caesar took off running towards the squirrel and then stopped. Like, wait a minute, what do we do if we catch it? Like, I mean, it was just like, okay, something in me as a dog made me feel like I need to chase that little furry thing. But I don't have the killer instinct to catch it and eat it, because guess what I have back upstairs in my room? Food. I don't need to catch that squirrel. And so if you do not start teaching these young millennials and just people as a whole that, yes, we are here to bear the weight of the misfortunate, but not those that simply are lazy. And that's where the problem comes in society. Sammy and Caesar, unfortunately, if I was to leave them outside, they would wait at the front doorstep forever until they die, because they don't know how to survive on their own. They'd be like, man, when is he coming back? When is the food going to show up? That's the same thing with this young man who's 30 years old, won't get out the house. If they kick him out now, he might starve to death, okay? But somebody needs to teach him how to hunt, fish, and catch his own food. This is the problem with what's going on in our society today. We cannot create stay-at-home sons and daughters, all right? That's not an occupation, millennials, all right? There's no time when they ask you, what do you do for a living? I'm a stay-at-home daughter or a stay-at-home son. No, we're not going to accept that in society. See, got me upset, got me sweating. I don't normally take my shades off. I have to take my shades off so they can look into my eyes. I wish you would live in my house talking about something. Yeah, Dad, I'm 30 years old, but I don't think I'm leaving. I'd be like, really? That's great. Tell you what, could you run down to the store and get some milk for us? Here's a $5. As soon as he comes back, everything would be outside. And I'm not talking about on my front lawn. I'm talking about outside in the middle of the street. I don't care if the cars run all over it, all right? Yeah, you're not going to mooch off of me for the rest of your life. So that goes for all the millennials out there that now have this mentality of society should just give me stuff, starting with my parents. So if you want to raise your kids like that, go right ahead. Won't be happening around me or any of my family members either. I'd be like, come here, let me grab you by, what you doing, man? You better kick this dude out your house. Anyway, God bless you. You've been listening to Kevin at Kevin's Corner. Don't be a stay-at-home daughter or son, okay? Check me out Facebook. Check me out on Twitter. Find me on Wednesday nights from our live radio blog talk show. And we will see you next time at Kevin's Corner. There's links in the bottom if you want to support this channel. God bless you. See you next time.